I have been tracking the AI music space closely, and today's announcement just changes everything. We were talking about a company that just secured a $250 million cash injection. This rockets its valuation to $2.45 billion, all while being sued by nearly every major record label. For investors, this creates an extreme risk-reward profile.
Welcome to DeepResearchGlobal.com podcast. I am your industry analyst, and I am here to unpack exactly what this news means for your portfolio, the future of content monetization, and the legal battles reshaping the entire music industry.
Okay, let's get right into the numbers. Suno. I think we can agree they're the most prominent AI music platform today. They just announced the close of their Series C funding round. $250 million.
$250 million, and that gives them a post-money valuation of $2.45 billion.
It's an incredible number.
It is, and I want you to look very closely at who is investing here. The round was led by Menlo Ventures, but the really key participants included NVentures.
That's NVIDIA's venture capital arm.
Exactly. And also Lightspeed, Matrix, and Hallwood Media.
Hallwood is the one that really stood out to me.
The participation of NVIDIA, that suggests a really strong strategic confidence in the underlying tech. But Hallwood has already signed an AI artist.
An AI artist that actually charted on Billboard.
That's right. So their involvement signals this isn't just a tech bet. They believe it can be monetized, despite all the legal risks.
That brings us to the business traction. Because the valuation this high, it has to be based on something real. And the growth has been remarkable.
Oh, absolutely. I've got two numbers here that investors really, really need to consider.
Go on.
First, the company reportedly generated $140 million in annual recurring revenue at the end of September. That's a huge jump from $50 million at the start of 2025.
And I've seen one publication even report that they've reached $200 million in annual revenue, almost all from subscriptions. That is massive traction in just 2 years.
It is. And the CEO, Mikey Schulman, he mentioned in my brief that nearly 100 million people have made music on Suno over the last 2 years.
100 million.
100 million. And get this. Users are creating around 7 million tracks daily.
Daily. Wow.
And streaming 20 million minutes of music, again, every single day. This just demonstrates tremendous demand for accessible creation tools.
But there's a catch, isn't there?
There is. I have to note that some reports indicate the company really struggles with user retention. Apparently, a majority of people just stop using it after 1 month.
So it's more of a novelty for many users, not a sticky long-term tool, which is a huge problem.
It's a key challenge.
And I see Suno is using this capital not just for legal defense, but for expansion.
Okay.
To try and fix that problem. They seem to be moving beyond pure text-to-music generation to build a full-stack music ecosystem.
That's the strategy. They rolled out Suno Studio back in September.
Which I understand is like a generative audio workstation, right? It combines professional multi-track editing with AI stem generation.
Exactly. They also released their most advanced model, V5, which offers much better vocals and, greater creative control.
And I also noted their strategic acquisition of WaveTool.
A Browser-based digital audio workstation.
This signals their plan is to accelerate the development of more sophisticated tools, not just for casuals, but for professionals.
They want an ecosystem where users actively participate, not just passively generate a track and leave. They need to solve that retention issue.
Okay, now for the critical risk component, the elephant in the room. This funding arises amidst, some pretty significant legal challenges.
To put it mildly.
I have to stress that Suno is currently defending itself against mass copyright infringement lawsuits.
And these lawsuits were filed by the industry heavyweights. We're talking Universal Music Group, Sony Music Group, and Warner Music Group.
And it's not just a U.S. issue, is it?
No, not at all. Suno has been sued by international rights organizations, too, like the Danish group CODA and the German licensing body GEMA. It's a global, coordinated legal assault.
So what's the core allegation here? What are they being accused of?
It's pretty straightforward. The core allegation is that Suno trained its AI model on copyrighted music without getting permission. Or, without paying for it.
So the record label's primary goal is to establish a legal precedent over the training data itself.
That's the heart of it. Now, my analysis shows something interesting when you compare them to a rival.
Udio.
Right. Udio recently settled with UMG. And it appears they're shifting their business model now, moving toward a kind of fan interactive offering that uses licensed music.
Which is the safer route. But the fact that Suno just raised $250 million, That suggests they are less likely to pivot.
Much less likely. It looks like they're preparing for a long, expensive legal battle, which, from an investor perspective, that significantly increases their short-term legal risk exposure.
Okay, so to give you a sense of the scale of this whole AI content problem, I looked at some data from Deezer. They reported that fully AI-generated music accounts for 34% of all tracks delivered to their platform daily.
34%. That's over 50,000 tracks every single day.
Just an incredible volume.
And what's even more relevant for investors is the monetization risk that comes with that volume. Deezer also reported that up to 70% of plays for these AI-generated tracks have been detected as fraudulent activity.
70%, so they're being filtered out of royalty payments.
They have to be. People are just using bots to inflate the stream counts. This trend of rising AI content is raising huge ethical and copyright questions that could honestly reshape how platforms monetize songs and pay artists.
So my final takeaway for you, the investor, is that this $2.45 billion valuation is a bet. It's a bet on Suno winning or at least surviving these copyright battles while its rapid adoption continues.
The capital gives them resilience for sure, but the legal headwinds are immense. The future of music technology really does hinge on the outcome of this legal fight.
My final thought is this. If creation becomes instantaneous and fraud keeps climbing, who decides what's real? How does human creativity cut through the noise of 50,000 synthetic tracks a day? It's something to think about.
Thank you for listening. Subscribe to deepresearchglobal.com for more latest business news briefs, company analysis, and investment insights.